Hello, ESL114 students. This video is for Tuesday, April 14th. I'd like you to, when you go to Canvas and you go to Modules, and then you would look at week 13, you will see the answer key for the last listening that you did before spring break. That will be listed under week 13. Then for week 13, we will focus on answering questions about your strengths and your weaknesses. By the way, you did a very good job on answering the experience question. I just got all those back to you. And now we're moving on to the next most typical kind of question. Now, it's very common to be asked, what are your strengths? And in other ways that question could be asked are, how will you be good for this job? Why are you the best person for this job? Let's see. So on page 186, they give some other ways that you might hear this question asked. That is, what are your greatest strengths? What are your strongest points? What are your best work abilities? What are your best qualities? Why should I hire you for this job? So you'll hear this question phrased many different ways. And you've already prepared the quick answer when you did your elevator pitch, when you brought out a few of your personal qualities and some of your skills. This answer is going to be a little bit longer though. So yes, you will bring out a few of your best personal qualities that are related to the job, a few of your best skills that are related to the job. But when you're giving the long answer in a job interview, remember, I want you to bring in examples. Be specific. It's when you bring in those concrete examples that they will remember you more. So here's my example. Let's say I'm looking for a cashier job, and I have experience being a cashier working at Eddie Bauer. So this is the three-part answer I would give. First, I would mention my qualities, then my skills, then my example. Here it is. Well, so they're asking me, why am I the best person for this job? My answer is, well, I'm really good at paying close attention to details and being very accurate. And at my past jobs as a cashier, I've worked with many different computerized registers, and so I can learn them quickly. In fact, when I worked at Eddie Bauer as a cashier, I had the reputation of being the most accurate cashier because my drawer was always balanced. So that was my three-part answer to that question about why should we hire you? In other words, what are your strengths? Now, let's see. Remember to give your example. And then for your homework, I would like you to go to page 187 and do listening 17 and exercise 18 to hear other people answering that question. Now remember, the skills that you discuss, your qualities that you discuss, they need to be relevant to the job that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a job as, let's see, what would an example be? If you're looking for a job as a house painter, you don't have to talk about your great accuracy with money and how you're good with numbers, right? So just make sure that the skills, the qualities that you mention are relevant for the job. Next, after they ask you about the strengths, it's also not uncommon to be asked about your weaknesses, the opposite of strengths. So that's what the second part of the chapter is about, telling about your weaknesses. There are some other ways that they could ask. Like it could be, what is your biggest weakness? What is your weakest point? What part of your work needs the most improvement? There are a few different ways people can ask that question. So our advice to you is to choose an obvious one, something that is clear to see, like English is not your first language. That way they already know that, right? So bring that up. You could say, well, English is not my first language, but then after you bring up that weakness, you're going to turn it around and tell them how you are working on it. So you'd say, well, English isn't my first language. However, but I'm taking ESL classes at Sacramento City College, and soon I will be getting the advanced ESL certificate. So show them that you're doing something that shows them that you don't give up, that you work on your weaknesses to make them better. That's the sign of a good problem solver. So your new homework about this topic is on page 193. On page 193, you're going to do listening number 29 and then the exercise 30 that follows after that, where you're going to hear people talking about their weaknesses and listen carefully for how they turn it around into something positive. And that's your job for your next spoken exercise. You are going to answer the question, what is your biggest weakness? And you are going to turn it around into something positive, okay? We're almost there. There's only a couple more questions we're going to work on after this one. So, what is your biggest weakness? That's the topic for our spoken exercise number 5. You'll find this all on Canvas. Go to modules, go to week 13, and you'll find all of your listening exercises, your assignment for spoken homework, the answer key from the last exercise that you did. They'll all be right there for you, okay? So that's this Tuesday. Oh, I told you I'd show you my new workspace. So this is my new home office. Let's see, how can I show it to you? There's a desk there, and I'm starting to bring my books over there. So now I have a little bookcase and desk area here, carved away in my living room of all places, but it's okay. I like it. Now I've got space to put all my papers out, and you don't have to look at my kitchen anymore. All right, so I hope you're all well, still staying home, figuring out how to be comfortable at home. I hope you're all well, and I'll talk to you again on Thursday. Bye.